Patrick Wilson might be known as a scream king these days, but his talents extend far beyond that of a great horror film actor. He starred in dramas, musicals, and superhero films. However, it was his collaboration with James Wan that made him a household name. Here are 10 things you probably didn't know about Patrick Wilson. He started his career on stage. The classically trained performer actually got his start on the stage, originating the starring role of Jerry Lukowski in The Full Monty, for which he received a Tony Award nomination for Best Actor in a Musical in 2001. The following year, he received another Tony Award nomination for his performance in Oklahoma, a feat even more impressive because he was filming Angels in America simultaneously. Wilson's transition to television was also successful, as his performance in this HBO miniseries led to an Emmy nomination in 2004. From there, his star seemed to soar, and Wilson found consistent work in movies such as The Phantom of the Opera, Watchmen, and the indie film Hard Candy alongside Elliot Page, in addition to successful turns on TV, starring in Fargo and A Gifted Man. His pivot to horror solidified his film success. Although Wilson found early success on TV and movie screens, his subsequent attempts at big screen roles seemed to fall flat. However, he would land a role that would come to define his film career. He starred alongside Rose Byrne in James Wan's horror film, Insidious, and returned for the sequel in 2013, Insidious, Chapter 2. That same year, Wilson portrayed Ed Warren in another horror film, The Conjuring, which became one of the highest-grossing horror films of all time. The star played in 2 more of the Conjuring series throughout the years, including 2021's The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. Starring in The Conjuring affected his view of supernatural occurrences. When Patrick Wilson started doing the Conjuring movies, he didn't really believe a whole lot in the supernatural. That all changed, though, when he started filming The Conjuring 2. He and a few others who have stayed in his home have reported hearing inexplicable childish laughter at night. Now, that's about as creepy as things can get. He thinks he knows enough to perform an exorcism. Having played Ed in 5 movies, Wilson definitely picked up a thing or two about what it takes to perform an exorcism. When asked by Seth Meyers on Late Night if he and his co-star, Vera Farmiga, feel like they know more about the devil, Wilson immediately responded in the affirmative. He added, "I'm convinced that I could give an exorcism. It's complete crap, but I really feel like I have this authority based on nothing. Just really based on reading the lines. But I feel like I'm good. Like if you have a ghost in your house, call me." Wilson then joked with Meyers that if his acting career didn't work out, he could potentially pivot into starting a business of him performing celebrity exorcisms. He suggested making his character blonde in Aquaman. Wilson played Orm Marius, Aquaman's half-brother and nemesis. For Wilson, it was important to make sure that the character's look is pronouncedly different from the film's lead character. And so, he decided that the Ocean Master had to go blonde. It also was almost a throwback to the older Aquaman. He also told Film, "Truthfully, me with blonde hair is closer to prototypical Aquaman. So I thought, let's use that to our advantage." If you must know, this isn't the first time that Wilson got involved in a superhero movie. He also played Night Owl 2 in Watchmen. He never had official singing lessons until college. Wilson said that he never officially studied voice until college. He sang rock music growing up, and in choirs directed by his mother when he was in high school. His mother, a voice teacher and professional singer, never offered him formal vocal coaching. Although he seemed to have diverse interests in high school, he told Broadway World that choir singing was always important to him. He recalled how there were many times when he had to approach his coaches and tell them he couldn't attend the annual sports dinner because he was scheduled to sing in a performance of Handel's Messiah or something like that. His first official vocal lesson was in college, but his experience in choir aided him in some of his professional performances. He has a band with his brothers. Wilson and his 2 brothers formed a cover band, the Wilson Van. Paul Wilson, Patrick's oldest brother, sings, and Mark Wilson, the middle one, plays guitar alongside their day jobs as the owner of an advertising company and a news anchor, respectively. For his part, singer Patrick also plays the drums. The brothers seem to enjoy playing together whenever and wherever they can, and Patrick Wilson has stated just how much he enjoys this familial musical venture. He told People, "We're just having a good time. There's no ego involved, and it feels very natural. It's just one of the greatest feelings, being able to play with your brothers." He's married to a fellow actor. Patrick Wilson has kept his family life fairly private throughout the years, though he has shared some milestones with fans as they've occurred. He's married Dagmara Dominchik, who is best known as Karolina Novotny in Succession. During a joint interview with Steve Dubato, both actors mention that they first met at Carnegie Mellon University, and Wilson goes on to explain that they reconnected a decade later at an alumni event. The couple wed in 2005 and have 2 sons. He gives a lot back to charity. In spite of his fame and fortune, Wilson and his family don't flaunt their celebrity status, and they don't spend their money on lavish, flashy possessions. Instead, they would rather help other people. Much of his philanthropic activity is centered in his hometown of St. Petersburg, Florida, and the family band. The Wilson Van has often performed benefit concerts for non-profits in the area, like Paws for Patriots and the All Children's Hospital. In 2015, the entire Wilson family, including his parents, formed the Wilson Family Foundation, Inc., to support veterans, first responders, and children with special needs, and promote the arts. Their primary fundraising tool is through the Wilson Van. He will make his film directorial debut. Even though he has worked in film, television, and theater throughout his career as an actor, he hasn't really had the opportunity to get involved in the filmmaking process behind the camera. However, Wilson is set to make his directorial debut with the next Insidious movie. According to The Wrap, Insidious 5 will take place 10 years after the events of the first movie, providing an insight into what the Lambert family has been up to ever since they first became aware of the Further. Wilson noted that directing the movie is both professionally and personally a full-circle moment for me, and I am extremely grateful to be entrusted in continuing to tell this frightening and haunting story.